Welcome to NJ Ghana Radio and A2 TV. This is in times like these, and I am Nana Boatin. This month is Caregivers Month, and we're going to dedicate the month to people who care for their loved ones who are living with disability. I have this evening Miss Anissa Suknan. She is the owner of Nikki's Delight, a restaurant, and also a primary caregiver of her own child. Anissa, welcome to In Times Like These. We are going to take a short break and we'll be right back. As I was saying, we have Anissa in our midst who has a child who lives with a form of disability. Disability comes in a whole lot of forms. We have mental disability, physical disability, people who have issues with their eyes, their hearing. So it's a whole broad subject. But tonight we're going to bring it down to just a person who has to live by being hooked on machines. The person breathes with a ventilator, has a feeding tube, things happen in life. So we're going to find out some of her stresses, some of her moments of triumph, and what she does in between. Welcome once again, Miss Anissa Suknan.
Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome, my dear. So, how do you, when did you find out you were going to have a child like what you have?
When I was 6 months pregnant, I found out that he was going to be born with disability.
So what did you do? Were you in a state of shock?
It was a state of shock, but then eventually you just mentally kick in and start doing what you have to do and just keep going, and until he's born, then you start, then so, you just kick in. It just kicks in the whatever. Yeah, you go in for your weekly checkup. It was weekly that I had to go in to monitor him to make sure everything was okay. And I would the stress goes away for some reason, and you just focus on what you have to do.
So when you found out, fast forward, when you gave birth to the kid, were you expecting what you're seeing today?
No.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting it to be a little less of what we had to go through, but after I had him, it was just went straight to the hospital. He was on a lot of machines. They did surgeries after 21 days, him being on a machine. He was on a machine that came out from his neck. So it was a heart-lung machine that was doing everything for him because his heart and his lungs were bad. So it was just one step after another. And at that hospital, he stayed there for 5 months. They said after 5 months, they gave up on him. They said he wasn't going to survive. And then the doctor who was there that after the 5 months transferred him over to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for a heart-lung transplant. So he was on a heart-lung transplant list for about 5 months. But when he went over there, they started doing different things with him and treating him for pulmonary hypertension, which is what he developed with the heart-lung being bad. So after they started treating him, he got better and better where he could come off the transplant list.
So back to when you gave birth, did you have a natural birth or a C-section?
I had a C-section.
And so you have you've just had a C-section.
Yeah.
You have a child that is sick.
Yeah.
What were the emotions you were going through? When did you see your child? Give us a little bit.
I was in the hospital. They took him right away to another hospital the same night he was born. He was transferred to St. Christopher's. I didn't see him. I was in the hospital We had him on Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I saw him, because the hospital did not want me to leave. They wanted me to stay like at least a week, and I couldn't. I had to go see him, because I didn't care about how I felt. I didn't care about me. Just wanted to see my son. I just wanted to go see him because I think him hearing me, my voice, he would have kept, so
Going.
going, yes.
Wow. So when you saw him, I mean, you've come from your situation,
Yeah.
having all the wounds and everything, and then behold your kid.
Yeah.
How did you feel seeing him hooked onto all these machines you're talking about?
It was scary, and not ever being in a hospital, not ever being, in that kind of environment. It was shocking at first, but it, I think once you see your kid and it's like you want, you just have to keep going. It's just that strength comes in you where it's like everything you're seeing, it just, you're not seeing it, you're just seeing your kid, you're just seeing that little baby that's sitting there, and you have to keep going. It's just, I don't know, it's just that strength that just comes over you, and it's like you're the machine for him,
Yeah.
you know yeah.
What kind of disability does your loved one have?
He has heart lung problems. So his lung is undeveloped. He's been on a breathing machine from the day he was born till now. He does not eat anything by mouth because he aspirates into his lung. So he's on a feeding tube as well. So he gets feeds through the tube to a certain amount of time, and he has heart problems as well, which is pulmonary hypertension. So it's a heart lung disease that he takes medication for, and he does not. His limbs are very weak, so he does not walk on his own yet. He walks with holding on to a walker. So that's the disability that I have to deal with every day.
Every day?
Yes,
Wow.
every day.
So, are you married?
No, I'm not. I'm a single mom taking care of my son.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So, where is, I'm not trying to pry into your private life, but where's the child's father?
The child's father lives in another country. He has left me and my son since he was 5 months old. And he's been in the hospital when he was born. He stayed in the hospital for 2 years. So he stayed at one hospital for 5 months, and then the next hospital he stayed for the duration of 2 years.
Oh, and listen, do you have any resources? I mean, resources, is the government coming in to help, or you have this whole burden by yourself?
No, I do not. Everything is covered. All his medical is covered. The Medicaid insurance kicks in because he's a United States citizen.
Mhm.
So everything is covered. They pay for everything. They cover everything medically wise.
So how do you, when you say medical wise, it means that, I mean, his hospital visits and stuff is covered.
Yes.
Do you have any form of nursing, physical? You said his
legs,
lower
limbs.
limbs are not good. So do you have any kind of physical therapy, occupational therapy, stuff like that coming in?
Yes, they do. They pay for everything. So all you have to do is you have to get your doctor's referral and you go to the physical therapy. And he also has nursing coverage for 16 hours a day. And then I take care of him for 8 hours a day.
Okay. If I heard right, you said your son is hooked onto a ventilator.
Yes.
And a feeding pump.
Yes.
Okay. So how does he sleep?
He sleeps well. He sleeps, because he's so used to being on a ventilator. Like it's normal for him. Yeah, it's become a normal thing. So,
Are there any times that you go into this looking at how long? Anyway, first and foremost, how long have you had your son?
my son is going to be 17 in
Wow.
2 weeks on December 14th.
Oh wow.
He's going to be 17. So I've been doing this for 17 years. from day one till, yeah.
Wow, I feel for you. So, what are some of the things that when you look at your son, what do you see? Like, has he got a future to become an astronaut? You know, something like that.
He is not going to be an astronaut, but he's very smart. He talks. He can relate to you. He will, if he needs anything, he can tell you, this is what I need. He is a joyful, happy kid. He's not, he just enjoys his life. He doesn't, and when I look at him, I am happy that he's just even here with me today, because they said he wasn't even going to live past 5 years, and it's going to be 17.
Wow, that's a miracle.
Yes.
Wow. We sure are going to take a short break. It's getting interesting, and we'll be back. So, Miss Anissa, if you having a kid who is living with a form of disability, and you have to run your own business alongside, you said you have nurses and all these people coming in. He is homeschooled, I perceive.
Yes.
Okay. Are there days that you feel your privacy has been taken away from you? Because if everybody is coming into your house, how do you deal with your own self?
It's a little tough. It gets to you sometimes, but I think once you look at your kid and he's there, and you know it's better, it gets easier some days. Some days are very hard, and you just deal with it. You kind of push yourself into something that you're passionate about, like my cooking. I've just pushed myself into that more, and then just,
Do you have a social life?
I do not.
Why? Is it taking all your time?
It's
What is it?
it's not that. It's just it's very difficult to have a social life when you have a disabled kid, because it's like you have to be responsible. Okay, when the nurses leave, it's your responsibility. You have to be, you have to be there. You have to take care of him. He's goes to bed. You have to make sure that, okay, if the machine goes off, you have to get up and take care of him.
Have you ever thought of putting him in a nursing facility? Because, 17 years, you've done
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about it that, hey, one day I have to put my son in a nursing facility and not feel guilty?
As
about it?
long as I live, my son will stay with me.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
As long as you live,
Yes.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
You look at him, you could never, he would never be the happy kid that he is if I put him in a home.
So, do you get any form of housing, helping with your bills? If your son is on a machine 24/7, your power bill will be up the roof.
Yeah.
Do you get any form of assistance?
No, I do not. I can apply. There's things that you can apply for. You can, but it's just a lot you have to go through.
And you have social workers coming in and stuff like
yes. Mm-hmm.
that? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have made it in
Yes.
17 years.
Yes.
What would you tell the person out there
Mm-hmm.
who just gave birth to a child who has a kind of,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to tell that person to encourage that person? Let the person know there is a future.
Yeah.
You can't just throw in the towel and be done.
Yeah.
What would be something you'd want to look and tell that
I
person?
would tell them that once you have this child, there's a fire that comes up in you. There's a strength that comes up in you. Just hold on to it. Hold on to it, because when you look at your kid, it comes up, that strength just comes up, and just keep holding on to that strength. Don't give up. There's hard days that's going to come, and there's days that they're going to tell you your son or your kid is not going to make it. But hold on to that strength that comes up in you when you see your child laying in that bed. Just hold on to it. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep fighting with that fire that comes up, because it just comes up. You don't even think about the pain that you're going through, if you had a C-section or not. You don't even think about the pain. You just do it. You just do it. Just hold on to that strength that comes in, and don't give up. Don't give up on your kid. Just keep looking at your kid and just talk to them. Talk to them. That's what I did in the hospital when he was there. I would go sit by his bed and just talk in his ear. Talk in his ear. Just give him a nickname. Give the kid a nickname. Give your daughter a nickname. I used to call him Baby Bear. I'm like, Baby Bear, you have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting. That's all I would say to him. Baby Bear, you have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting. Yeah.
Wow. What a day. Once again, we are at the end of our program in times like these, and you're watching A2 TV. Anissa Suknan was our guest, and she's told us how to fight. Mothers fight. Fathers fight. We'll catch you same time next Saturday, 6 p.m. in times like these. And I am Nana Watson. Fight.